Hey friends, it's Destiny with Fearless Ministries, and I just got home from our final performance of the Hope Show, and wow, what an amazing thing that God has done through it and in it. And I just pray that it continues to go out. So many people reconnected with Christ tonight. So many people realized that they weren't alone in their struggles and their hurt anymore. Absolutely beautiful. My heart is so full of joy for the restoration process and excitement to see new journeys unfolding and new repentance taking place and new relationships with Jesus. I'm just so overwhelmed with thankfulness for that. My heart is full of sadness for the struggles that people are going through and through the heartache. And wow, we live in a broken, messed up world, don't we? So anyways, speaking of broken and messed up world, I'm standing in my really messy garage, but I'm standing in front of a big, giant pile of wood here. And the reason why I'm standing in front of it making this video is because I had my Fearless Ministries table set up there, and Chastity and I were there last night, and we were talking to different people about our different seminars and art retreats and things like that we do. And I'm really, really excited to start booking dates for next year for our weekend retreats or one-day seminars. This piece of wood is going to be turned into something amazing and beautiful. So we do this interactive seminar, Chastity and I do, where we don't even have a name for it yet. So maybe you could give us a name for it. But we talk about the broken pieces that we have in our life. We talk about how we're created in the image of Christ, and how when we walk in front of a mirror, we don't always see the image of Christ. I know I don't. I usually get up in the morning, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Look at these bags, look at these wrinkles, or these nose hairs, or now my crooked nostrils, or whatever. I don't see holy majesty. I might walk into the mirror in the morning and say like, oh my gosh, Destiny, you screwed up again. Like you said unkind words, or you yelled, or this or that, and what a failure you are. You screwed up you're eating stuff again, and you put on this weight, you can't do anything right. Most of the time I don't look in the mirror and say, yeah, I am the reflection of Christ. I've got it going on. That's just the reality. I don't see that. Most of the time I see my brokenness when I look in the mirror, but I'm able, most of the time now in my life, I'm able to look in the mirror and say, I screwed up. I am so thankful that Christ is my Redeemer and He can restore. So anyways, back to the wood. We do this beautiful, beautiful seminar where we talk about our brokenness. What do we do with these broken pieces? We talk about surrender. And then this piece of wood gets turned into something super magical, and you get to keep it at the end. Whoever hosts us, whatever church or whoever, you get to receive that and keep that. So you've probably seen it online before from previous seminars. It's a huge mirrored mosaic cross, and in the middle is a red glass heart. Sometimes I put a big nail into the side of it. Sometimes I put a big chunk of red glass to symbolize the sacrifice. And then each person gets to come up and glue their name into it as an act of surrender with their broken pieces. And then while Chastity speaks about hope and restoration and her story and so on, me and a bunch of volunteers are backstage, and we are just gluing it like crazy, creating this beautiful mosaic. And why do we do this? We do it because we're all broken. And years ago, I was in a blogging seminar, and I heard a lady say, what are your 3 passions in life? And I wrote down doing hair, art, and walking alongside the broken to their journey of healing. She said, put them all together. And I'm like, well, how do you put that together? So anyways, long story short, we all have jewelry, right, ladies? And at some point our jewelry breaks. And so what do we do with it? It's broken. It's worthless, right? So we throw it away because it's no good. Sometimes I throw it in my pocket or in my purse because I think I'm going to recreate it or make something better out of it. And isn't it just like us? We become broken and we throw ourselves away. And if we don't throw ourselves away, society has no problem throwing us away right down to the gutter, right? Because now we're worthless because we're broken, because we are addicts, because we're cutters, because we're losers, because we are adulterers or alcoholics or promiscuous or liars, cheaters, you name it. Not that those are all my things, but I'm just throwing stuff out here. We're worthless, so we're thrown away. And sometimes we try to hang on to ourselves, and if we can hang on to ourselves just long enough and surrender those broken pieces to God, He can recreate it into something far more beautiful than what it ever was. And that's what the whole point of this seminar and this project is. We take this wood and then we put our we, as an act of surrender, we bring our pieces to that. And then when you see the mosaic come together with all the broken glass and all the beautiful pieces that come together, it is so much more beautiful than it ever was. It's definitely more beautiful than this piece of wood here. But what always gets me every single time as I'm creating this project, literally, it's my blood, sweat, and tears, because I'm always cutting myself. My heart and soul goes into this project. What always gets me is this piece of wood obviously came from a tree. And I wonder, did God specifically plant that tree for this project? Before the dawn of time, before creation, he knew that somewhere in this forest was going to be this tree that was going to be used for this beautiful project. Now, I know I'm thinking way much into it, but that's just kind of how my brain works. And it's a beautiful thing. Like, this piece of wood, this tree was selected by God eons ago to be turned into something absolutely beautiful. Now, the tree is a beautiful thing as it grows and it's with its roots and it nourishes, but then it goes on and it had another purpose. So anyways, we're excited to bring this to you, and I will post under this video some pictures of that project and what that looks like if you haven't seen it yet. Whatever questions you have for us, please call me or message me. Let us know. I would love to set up something for you while we're filling in these dates for next year. And in the meantime, don't discount your brokenness. Don't think it's for nothing. God uses all things. And remember, we can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. What things? Some things? No. A few things? Absolutely not. All things. All things through Christ who gives us strength. All right, I love you, my friends. Blessings. Don't forget that you are created in the image of Christ. And he can turn this into something magnificent, because you are magnificent and you are so loved by the Creator, our Father in heaven. I love you all. Blessings.